Hello there again, everybody. My name is Citizen Strife, and as you can see, it's another month of Bokksu, the Japanese snack box that I get in the mail every month. And what I did the last couple of months was because one of them didn't show up, I ended up getting them the same day. So instead of doing one picture at a time, I did two. I liked it so much that I decided to keep it going forward. So now what's going to end up happening with these is you're going to see the image of the description on the left and then the actual thing on the right. Rather than record one, record two, be done. I think that'll consolidate the images a bit more and make it a little more free-flowing and easier to handle. Same thing would happen with the Let's Learn Japanese and the culture guides. I'll do my best I can to make the dual picture thing the format going forward. But this month's setup is Blazing Maple Hills. So this one seems to be about snacks that evoke the autumn landscapes in Japan. So we'll see how this goes. So as usual with these, they have a thank you gift and thank you card from the founder for the packages, and you get a descriptor of the package itself. On the right-hand side, we've got one of the favorites here. It's the Let's Learn Japanese. We've got Koyo, Autumn Foliage, Momojigari, Maple Leaves Hunting, Akibare, Clear Autumn Weather, and Akizora, Autumn Sky. This two-page set depicts the culture guides for the Bokksu of the month, and this has some trivia about things in Japan, some of the sights and sounds, and any trivia that they're thinking about talking about for these little guides. I kind of did my best to get both images so that you could read it at your leisure. Feel free to stop the video if you need to. And there is all the stuff piled in the box, and that's going to be my lunch. We start this month with the Daikoku Hojicha tea. Kind of it says a green tea, but it mimics more of the black teas with a little less strength than in, like, say something like an English breakfast or a tea like that. Definitely roasted, and again, if you're looking for more of a blackish tea, you can go with this. Most of the other ones I get are kind of a rootier green tea flavor, so this one should pair pretty well with some of the darker, like, heftier stuff in this lineup. The rich sweet potato cake. Very thick, kind of the banana bread vibe with sweet potato mixed in instead of bananas and blueberries and the like. Paired very well with the tea, because on its own, it's very bready with a smidge of sweetness, but as soon as you kind of get some of the liquid, the tea in there, it kind of unlocks the sweetness and it pours around the mouth pretty well. And it's sweeter than it feels, so it's a good mix. It's a good start. Stick Financier lemon tea. On its own, fairly similar to the sweet potato cake. The lemon and the tea flavor mix with the sugar a little bit, so it's kind of tart, kind of sugary, but you taste a lot of the bread. Introduce the tea, the sugar really envelops it and makes it easier to eat, makes it very full feel, and man, these two really good start to this month. Noir Mini Japanese Chestnut. So these cookies are darker than your normal Oreo cookies. They almost dark chocolate, veering on the side of coffee, if you like that sort of flavor. Not nearly as bitter, but the chestnut offsets it. Really rich, really heavy for a cookie like this. Another good one. Momoji Senbei. So an assortment of rice crackers in all different flavors. I took my time with these, and a couple of them really stood out to me. It's mostly the ones on the right-hand side. They have a little bit more salt in them. Their flavors are a little more like in your face, because a couple of them are like sugary, a couple are just kind of plain, or the flavors did not really interest me, but some of them were good. I want to say the yellow one, and specifically the one below it, with the looking like seeds, but it's not quite sesame seeds. It's definitely a different mix. It tastes really good. Jagabi butter soy sauce flavor. So these are kind of like dried French fries or Funyun looking things. The flavor is buttery with a bit of soy sauce. They mix pretty well. Sweet potato and apple pie cookie. So kind of a thicker cookie. Good like 70-30 mix of the sweet potato and the apple pie, with the apple pie peeking out, but not overwhelming the taste because the sweet potato takes precedence. And I think they hit the mixture out of the park. This month's going pretty well. Mikan mochi. So orange with a bit more zest to it. I was expecting something a bit sour. What I ended up getting was very sugary. So I was expecting the orange to a bit overpower me. That was not the case. There was a lot of sugar. Still pretty solid. Joga chocolate cream waffle cookie. Dead ringer for the Noir minis, just a different form factor. These wave cookies have been pretty good in the past, and this is another good one. Loquat and fig handmade candies. So nice little mellow fig flavor, little bit of a bitter and sweet loquat candy. A lot of sugar though, so the sugar ends up dominating near the end of the experience. The Shiroko sand cookie, chestnut flavor. These are more like a senbei than a cookie, if I'm being honest. Very thick, very bready. The chestnut flavor is there, but the consistency is pretty bready for a cookie and a cracker. So, not as good as some of the other ones this month. This mini meatloaf looking thing is the Mignon Cadeau. Crispy chocolate sand. Forgive my French if I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, this thing is like a lot of layer wafers just caked on with a bunch of chocolate. The wafers are very thin and crumbly, and the chocolate is pretty good. So this one is pretty nice. The Annouimo sweet potato pie. This one, unlike all the other ones, was just kind of there. Didn't really excite me. Didn't really taste all that good. It's just kind of a flaky thing with a little bit of sugar. It didn't really work. This is another one for the bleh pile, the mayonnaise fried cracker. Mayonnaise isn't really sharp. It just kind of exists as this like almost buttery kind of film thing that, is almost sour near the end. It's not disgusting. I've had way worse. It's just not great either. The Kotsubuko or Kosubuko bitter caramel flavor cracker. These ones are like halfway between liking them and not liking them. So when tie goes to the not liking them, the issue is that the bitterness and the sugar don't mix well. And I'm like, a different kind of caramel flavor or a different kind of cracker would have worked for this. As it is, it just kind of doesn't do either, and it's just a frustrating treat. Now, this is more like it. This is the way to end a video. The piri spicy curry senbei. And very similar to the fried, the dried French fries from earlier, but this has an intense flavor. It doesn't taste like much all at once, but if you let it linger, they're very, very powerful spice at the tail end. The aftertaste is just very good, and it carried me through the entire bag. I couldn't stop. It reminded me, about 6 months to a year ago, I had these black pepper flavored senbei. I don't think it was the same. They were these spirally looking ones, but these were good. These were on par with those in a different way. But this definitely ended on a high note after a little bit of a bleh near the end. Good month overall. And if you're curious about this, I have other videos of other months going back a few years, but this is the Bokksu or Bokksu box, snack box I get every month for about $40, I think, give or take. And these are fantastic. and I do not regret taking these on every month, because you never know what you're going to get in a box. And sometimes if you see something that's a familiar flavor or a familiar shape, you're like, oh, good, this is something I'm either going to like or I'm either going to dread. But then you can be surprised, like something like this, where it's just like, yeah, it saved the box quite a bit. But overall, I'd say this was a good month, and there was a lot of stuff to like. I would say this one, the Mignon Cadeau, and the Noir mini cookies were probably the best ones. Worst ones would have probably been a lot of the stuff near the end, like the Annouimo pie and stuff like that, the last few until we got to this one. But, not a bad month. But that's it for this month, though, and I'll be back with another one, so I'll see you guys next time.